we are so close. And when I mean close, we are close, ladies and gentlemen, until football season. We are a little under a month out from college football. It is, July 30th in the year of our Lord, 2024. We're ready to rock and roll on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon and talk about some college football. We're doing the recaps of the media days. We got this one, and then we got next week, and then we got a couple more episodes before we start calling games and covering games for Pigskin Frenzy. I'm excited. I know you guys are excited too. We are so close to college football. I can feel it. Football honestly starts technically, really unofficially, this Thursday with the NFL preseason game, Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio with the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. We're not going to get into that until Thursday, but let's talk about some college football. I'm ready. I know you guys are ready, and we're going to rock and roll with some Pigskin Frenzy. Welcome to Pigskin Frenzy on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Thinking about Thursday still. Thank you for joining us. I'm Joel Darts. Whether you're watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify, or listening on Podbean, a big thank you for taking some time out of your Tuesday to just sit back, watch, and listen to some college football coverage presented by me. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like each episode, leave comments down below. Spotify, Podbean, and Apple, all you have to do is just share around with others and follow on there as well. X, Instagram, and Facebook, just type in Pigskin Frenzy. Follow, like the pages there. You're going to get episode updates. You're going to get news and highlights from across college and NFL football. You're going to get trivia questions on Instagram stories. Go and answer today's college football question, as well as all things up to date for Pigskin Frenzy. Guys, check out the website, www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. There you will find all things up to date for about Pigskin Frenzy, including a home and about me page with me. You're going to find a contact me page, a contact me form down below, contact me down there. You also have the platforms page with, from all the stuff that I just mentioned on the platforms with Instagram and Facebook and Podbean. You can select your listening style and go and listen to Pigskin Frenzy on those platforms there. There's also the affiliations page, which brings us to our proud partners at the Beard Club. Guys, if you want a great shave, and listen, I have sort of a stubble, but not really a beard. But if I did grow my beard back out, which I'm tempting and thinking about doing it during the winter, man, there is no place I would rather get my products than at the Beard Club. The Beard Club beard grooming kits are 25% off right now. They come with beard balm, beard oil, beard and face wash, boar bristle brush, comb, razor, significant others of your male counterpart and male counterparts listening to this show. Listen up. You're not going to want to miss these deals. They also have 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, body wash, loofahs, and more. Beard grooming kits, all there. 25% off with the Beard Games 2024 sale due to the Olympics. And the code is GOLD25. That's right, GOLD25. Just go to my website, www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. You will find the Beard Club at our affiliations page. Click on the affiliations page. Click on the Beard Club logo through that, and then you will go to the website. Also on our link tree, it's on my X bio, my Facebook bio, and my Instagram bio on the Pigskin Frenzy pages, as well as the description of this YouTube video right now is the link tree link, and you can click on the link tree, then you will go to the Beard Club link through that link tree, and it will take you to the site. Beard Games 2024 sale with the code GOLD25, 25% off on each purchase of your Beard Club products. The Beard Club, it is what makes everything go together. It is what makes your facial hair needs and grooming needs be met. Thank you to our proud partner at the Beard Club. And before we kick off everything, we're going to talk about one thing, and it's important. It's important to know because we are coming up on it, almost a month, a little under a month out from it. But the free giveaway, our second annual Kick the Season Off giveaway, kick off the season giveaway. This time it's college football, and we're calling all SEC/Mississippi State fans/college football fans. You're not going to want to miss this free giveaway. The giveaway includes a free large Mississippi State long sleeve black t-shirt t-shirt, size large, 2 Pigskin Frenzy stickers, and a shout out on August 20th episode of Pigskin Frenzy. All that for free. The rules are simple. Number 1, follow Pigskin Frenzy on Facebook and Instagram. Number 2, share the post on your Facebook and Instagram story with a hashtag PF Podcast Giveaway, and tag us at Pigskin_Frenzy. And number 3, tag 2 friends in the comments below. If you already have 1 down, just do 2 and 3, and you're entered. Additional entries are simple. Subscribe to Pigskin Frenzy on YouTube. Follow Pigskin Frenzy on Podbean, as well as follow at Pigskin_Frenzy on X. The entries stop August 18th at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 Eastern, or 5 Mountain Time, or 4 Pacific. The winner will be announced via Instagram story, Instagram post, and Facebook post on August 19th at 6 p.m. Central Time. Hashtag PF Podcast Giveaway. You're not going to want to miss this giveaway. Enter it right now. You're not going to want to miss out on all the free stuff from Pigskin Frenzy. College football day today. Ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm excited. ACC Media Days, ladies and gentlemen. Next week we'll do Big Ten, but this time we're going to do the 17 teams of the ACC Media Day. We'll probably go a little bit quicker than we did last week. Last week it was like almost an hour episode doing SEC Media Days. Just had a lot to talk about with all 16 of these teams, but man, these 17 teams are very confident, and there's a lot of confidence going into this season, especially with the realignment of everything going on with the ACC. But there's also a little bit of a controversial topic, and I really was trying so hard to ignore it because I don't really think that it's in the cards to do right now, but let's talk about it anyway. The rumors, right? Florida State and Clemson going to the Big 12. A lot of people have been talking about that and been texting me and telling me, when are you going to talk about this? Are you going to touch on it? I didn't want to touch on. I tweeted out something similar to it about how they're going to stay in the ACC in 2025 and 2026, but I really didn't want to talk about them going to the Big 12. But now I will, because there's so much chatter about it and it's addressed going on right now. Lawsuits are going on in the ACC with the grant of rights deal. Not going to get into that. I've already been talked about the grant of rights and what's going on in the ACC there in previous topics and previous episodes. But let's just say that the commissioner, ACC commissioner, is not pleased going on with with everything happening in that case with Florida State and Florida State and Clemson. Jim Phillips, the ACC commissioner, is not very pleased currently right now. So when you look at everything, he is not really pleased with what's going on with the lawsuits. He's not really pleased on what's happening with the rumors of them going to the Big 12. And I wouldn't be either. As a commissioner, I wouldn't be either. It's like Brett Yormark talking about Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC. I'm not really a big fan of all the realignment talk with Clemson and Florida State either at this point. But I don't know. It's just a lot going on with the grant of rights, a lot going on with the suits going on with Florida State and Clemson in the ACC, a lot of stuff going on now. But Jim Phillips, ACC commissioner, is trying to look past it, but he does kind of get agitated with it, as do a lot of other people. Don't really want to talk about there's nothing really to talk about. There's nothing really happening at this time. There's just been a lot of rumors and maybe discussions with Brett Yormark and the Big 12 about Clemson and Florida State going to the Big 12. It should be interesting to see, but right now, I wouldn't think anything would happen at this time. But let's talk about all these teams, and let's talk about what are we seeing from Media Days. Boston College, let's kick it off with Boston College, the Eagles of Boston College. There's a new head coach in town, ladies and gentlemen. His name is Bill O'Brien. You remember him, the former offensive coordinator from Alabama, the former OC with Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots, was supposed to be the offensive coordinator for the Ohio State Buckeyes this season until the Boston College head coaching job came calling. He is excited about being at Boston College and to finally get another shot at being a head coach like he was at Penn State many years ago. He's excited about it, and he's excited to bring an exciting brand of football with him at Boston College. He's excited to bring physical football to Boston College and bring an exciting offensive game plan to Boston College. He's said that, and I quote, that he's excited to be there. He's ready to rock and roll. And the questions that I got are, how is it going to be physical than the past few years? What is your brand of football going to look like for Boston College? And is your offense going to be a lot more finessey, kind of like how it was at Alabama and then trying to do at the New England Patriots? He says he's excited about being back in college. He's excited about being the head coach. He's excited about bringing a physical brand of football. He's also said that he's excited about spreading out the offense even more and still running the ball a lot, but also spreading the offense out a little bit more and airing out the ball a little bit more at BC. So we're excited about, he's excited about it. I just don't know right now with the team that he's got. He's got an okay team, but the team is not going to be up to par right now. It's still a rebuilding year. He's still a new head coach. It's his first season. We got to give him some time to try to rebuild and try to take Boston College to the next level. But this season, it's one of those seasons where you look and you're like, it's kind of hard to say that, yes, this is the team that we need to look behind, that, try to get behind coming up in 2024. But that's not in the cards in my eyes right now. But he's also excited about being there and trying to rejuvenate everything at Boston College. That's my recap of Boston College, and that's what I got from the Eagles at ACC Media Day in Charlotte. So let's talk about another one. It's a new realigned team. My recap of California. Cal head coach Justin Wilcox is excited about going back and just being a part, of the ACC. Not really being a part of the ACC, but he's back and he's, ready to go and be a part of the ACC, be a whole different brand of football. Even though he's on the West Coast, he's not on the Atlantic Coast. He's on the Pacific Coast. But when you look at Cal and you look at Justin Wilcox, he's excited about bringing his brand of football to the ACC and bringing a physical prowess defensively to the ACC. And the big thing was, and this is the big recap that I got, was travel issues. And actually, when we talk about Stanford here in a little bit, was the same thing. Travel issues. What's going to happen with travel issues there? What's going to happen with, everything going on? How are they going to get from, they're going to be in Cal 1 week and in Berkeley 1 week, then they're going to be in Miami, Florida the next week, right? It's going to be a little challenging to, make these dates and and we wanted to know what's it going to be like mentally, physically, on this traveling, from the Pacific to the Atlantic, when you're playing key road games. And this is a good question for not just Cal and Stanford or SMU. This is for everybody in the conference, because you guys have to go and play Stanford and Cal at their place as well. So y'all are also traveling to them. So it's going to be a little bit challenging on everybody due to the travel issues. And that's what I kind of did not like about the conference realignment. Again, whole nother topic, but what are we going to do with the travel issues? Justin Wilcox says that he's excited and he's about to embrace the challenge of traveling. He's excited about embracing the challenge of joining the ACC and competing with a lot of talent and a lot of, competitive teams in this conference. And I got that excitement when I watched him at Media Days. I got that excitement from him, and a lot of the offensive players are excited. A lot of the team is excited to be a part of the ACC, and they're really motivated to be a part of this conference. So I didn't really see any issues from Justin Wilcox on being, traveling, that far. But that's my recap on Cal. He looked motivated. He looked excited. Excited to see what they're going to do this season and how they're going to be coming up in 2024. So that's my honest opinions on Cal and what I would expect to see from, and trying to see what we expect to see from them going into 2024. Let's talk about Clemson. Let's talk about one of the big dogs in the conference. Let's talk about Clemson. Dabo Swinney is ready. And one big question was, he welcomed SMU, Cal, and Stanford into the ACC. He welcomed them with open arms and said it's an exciting time to be an ACC fan, a college football fan, with all the realignment and the everything going on with the conferences. He also, and this is a big question here, was Cade Klubnik's development. And what's that going to take to try to grab and snag another ACC title game and title championship, and not only that, another playoff spot as well in the 12-team playoffs coming up in December. He says that Cade Klubnik's development is everything. They got to really rally behind him, and he's got to lead this team and push this team to the next level, right? And Kay Klubnik has said the same thing. He said the same thing at media days as well. That's the big question, and really the only question that I got with Clemson. I think they're going to be physical enough. I think they're going to be better than they were last season. I think Kay Klubnik's development is the big thing here. I think him developing as a junior and breaking out even more as a quarterback and breaking out in more and exposing some other defenses in the conference. I think that's the big thing for Clemson, and that's what they need from him to rise above all that pressure, develop, more developed, and make better decisions, and be a better overall quarterback. And they need him to step up in that regard so they can try to win the ACC. Because I'm not trying to put any pressure, but I think that's the key thing right there. If Kay Klubnik is not developed as the quarterback, and this is what I got from Clemson's ACC as well, if he's not developed as the quarterback of this team, it's going to be another repeat of last season and another repeat of the season before that. So Kay Klubnik got to be developed and got to be ready for this coming up season. This was Clemson's recap, and that was my recap on Clemson. No word on the lawsuits, no word on that. We were just talking about mainly the development of Kay Klubnik and as they get ready for the upcoming season for Clemson. Moving on, we're at Duke. We're at Duke, ladies and gentlemen. And let me go on and tell you about Duke. New leadership, new coach. Mike Elko's at Texas A&M now. Who's there? We got Manny Diaz. Manny Diaz, former defensive coordinator from Penn State. He's ready to rock and roll, and he's ready to be the head coach of the Duke Blue Devils and lead this team. He's ready to be physical, he's ready to be exciting, and he's ready to keep up what Mike Elko did at Duke football, and that's win ball games and surprise a lot of people. New quarterback in town. Riley Leonard is gone. Malik Murphy, transfer quarterback from Texas, is in, and we are excited about that, honestly, right? We're excited to see what Malik Murphy does with the Blue Devils, and we're excited to see what happens, and how they utilize him in the game, and how he can start and be a good help for this Duke football team. He's excited about the physical prowess of Malik Murphy and how he can, blow up a defense quickly. He's also excited about how physical this defense can be against teams. He's excited and confident about how this team could be an under-the-radar team going into this season, and we can build off of that. And those are some questions that I was asking myself. Are they going to be an under-the-radar team? And the way he sounded, he sounded really motivated, and he sounded like they could be a very good under-the-radar team. I like where Manny Diaz could be, head this program. I think he can head them in the right direction, and they could be a team where you're going to look at them and be like, oh, we don't need to underestimate Duke, right? So let's watch out for Duke. Let's watch out to see what they do in the 2024 season. That was my recap of Duke. And as they move on to the 2024 season. As we move on, let's talk about Florida State now. Florida State, man, Mike Norvell, they are trying. And I mean trying their absolute best to get behind that snub. I had to say something about it, right? They said it at media day, and I quote, "We're going to be old and gray one day, and we're still going to remember when they snubbed us for Alabama last season." And I understand y'all were undefeated. I'm just going to be real, and this is not a call out from Michigan. This is not a call out on Florida State, Alabama included, or Washington or Texas or whoever. If Georgia would have been in that college football playoff, all of them were going to lose. If that team that showed up in the Orange Bowl, right? If that team showed up in the Orange Bowl, that team who showed up to play in the Orange Bowl played Florida State, Bama, Michigan, or Washington or Texas, they're all losing. And you can almost hear a pin drop when I say that. They're all losing. And there's nothing to say, but they're all losing. So, but my thing is this. Florida State did get snubbed. Florida State was trying their absolute best to, get in and make a case to be in. But it's just a real shame. It was a shame of how everything happened. But we're moving on. They're gonna think about it for a long time, but they're now moving on to 2024 and the season at hand. And now DJ Uiagalelei is their new starting quarterback. He transferred from Oregon State, previously at Clemson as well. He was not there purposely because he wants key members of the 2023 team that are coming back for this season to be at the media days. Mike Norvell said that DJ Uiagalelei has got the keys to the offense right now, and it's going to probably rely a lot on him to lead this program and to lead this team into the right direction this season. And that was one of my questions. Is he going to be the ringleader of this offense? And how is it going to be heading into this season? And it was. He was right. He answered it correctly. He says he's focused on this season. He's motivated with this season, and that DJ Uiagalelei is going to be the main difference maker of this offense going into this season. We'll see. That's a big thing to say. Mike Norvell's not afraid. He's always confident, and I like that about Mike Norvell. But let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens with this team. Different feel. A lot of players that they lost in the draft and in the portal. Let's just see what happens going into this season. I'm curious to see, and especially how they bounce back from that, sad ending of a season last season. So that was my recap of Florida State. And speaking of Florida State, they got to play Georgia Tech in the week 0 game, August 24th in Dublin, Ireland. And that's who we're going to right now. Georgia Tech, our recap of media days for Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is fired up. Brent Key is excited to be entering his second season as Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets head coach. Haynes King, Eric Singleton, all those guys are excited to come back and be a big part of this offense, be a physical part of this offense, and be a veteran unit on offense. And Brent Key asking about going to Dublin. That's a big question. How is that going to be for him? He's excited. He's ready. He says he would go to Dublin almost every year if he wanted to. He says it's an exciting opportunity for this team and to showcase what they can do a week before the actual full season starts for college football. And I'm excited to see what Georgia Tech's got in the tank, too. I think with the roster that they got, I think with the offensive talent they got and the underrated defensive talent that they got on defense, I'm excited to see what they can do. Remember, they held their own against Georgia last season, and they played really, really well in the bowl game last season against UCF. I'm kind of excited to see what they do coming up into this season and how they're going to, be an underrated problem for the ACC coming in to this season. So that's my recap on Georgia Tech. They sounded confident. They sounded like they were going to be an under-the-radar team. I'm excited to see what they do here in the ACC. Moving on, Louisville getting over last season, didn't really score a whole bunch of points in the ACC championship game against Florida State. It was mainly a defensive performance on both ends, but Jeff Brom's back. He's back for his second year. He's ready to rock and roll. He's excited to see what they can do different and see what went wrong at the end of last season and what can be different for them going in to this season. He thinks that a more sense of urgency can be applied, especially on the offensive side of the ball, a better sense of urgency, a more motivated, more motivation when they are, calling plays and running plays as well. And I think that's a big thing for Louisville, especially because they didn't really have the urgency late last season in a lot of these games, especially in the ACC championship game. So I think that's a big thing for Louisville, just keeping up that urgency, keeping up that pace, and I think they can do fine. Louisville, that's my recap on Louisville. Jeff Brom is ready to go. He's fired up. He's a exciting head coach to talk to and to be, to listen to, and I'm excited to see where Louisville goes in this season. So that's my recap of Louisville in the ACC championship game, or not from the ACC championship game, but in the ACC media days going in to this season. Miami. Let's talk about Miami. Mario Cristobal's back in his third season. A loaded Miami team, and I'm going to sit there and say that. I picked Miami to win the ACC as my conference standing projections early on back in June because I think that they got the offensive firepower to do it. I mean, if you look at Miami's team, they are led by a 1-2 punch combo with Washington State transfer quarterback Cam Ward and Oregon State transfer running back Damian Martinez. Going to be exciting to watch them. He's got a full room of receivers to throw to. He's got a solid offense to work with, and he's going to spread them out, and they're going to be fast and high octane and a high pace, and you're going to have to worry about the U. Mario Cristobal says that we're still building in a lot of areas, including depth, but we don't have to build much longer, and that they are excited and they are coming to win games this season. Mario Cristobal is excited. He's confident, and he's confident in his Miami team this season to win more and more games. That's what I wanted to hear from Miami. That's what I wanted to hear from Mario Cristobal, because it's his third season. It's starting the time to do something now. He had a great recruiting class. He had a top 5 recruiting class, or top 5 to top 10 recruiting class, if I remember. He's got a loaded room from the portal. He is ready to rock and roll. He's ready to go. He's got urgency, and he's ready to go. That's my recap of Miami. That's what I wanted to hear from Miami, and they look like they are fired up and ready to go. NC State, North Carolina State, Dave Dorian, a solid football coach and very underrated coach and a very underrated team. Grayson McCall, a super senior and is entering his final season. He will be a one and done at North Carolina State, but he is back. He transferred from Coastal Carolina to NC State. He's ready to run this offense and have the keys to this offense. He's excited about what Grayson McCall can do, especially a veteran quarterback of that caliber leading the Wolfpack this season. Dave Dorian's excited about the defensive line, especially in the linebacker spot, especially after they lost Peyton Wilson in the draft. He's excited about how the linebackers are going to be, and he's excited about how physical they can be on defense this year. Defense is going to be my main question about NC State, and see how they can bulk up and be physical against all these other offenses, especially like a Miami. So Dave Dorian answered those questions. He was excited, he was motivated, and he was ready to rock and roll. And go Wolfpack. If you're watching me on YouTube, go Wolfpack. Underrated team. Watch out for them, especially with Grayson McCall taking snaps for that team. That is NC State's recap of ACC Media Days. We're flying through this quickly. We got 8 teams left to go. 8 teams. We're flying through this quick. Let's talk about their rival and their counterpart. Let's talk about North Carolina. The University of North Carolina, Mack Brown back for another season at UNC. The Tar Heels, they lost Drake May to the draft. Enter Max Johnson from Texas A&M. Max Johnson has the chance to start with this team and to have the keys to this offense with this team. Previously at A&M, also previously at LSU, Max Johnson is ready to go for this team. He's excited, he is motivated, and he is ready to rock and roll. Mack Brown is confident in Max Johnson. He is confident that he could get the ball down the field and do a lot of the things that Drake May did last season. Amarian Hampton, a solid running back for this team. No joke, he had a shot at winning the Doak Walker. He still does have a shot at winning the Doak Walker this season as well. So he is a solid back. Him, Ollie Gordon, a lot of those backs are at the top of the list, or they're at the top of my list too. Amarian Hampton, he is going to be a difference maker on that offense for sure. They're going to rely a lot of plays on him. He's going to carry a lot of the load, and Matt Brown's excited to see what he can do as he comes back for the Tar Heels. So their running game is going to be a problem, and that was one of the big questions that I had. Is the running game still going to be a factor? And it is, of course, with Amarian Hampton being back with the Tar Heels. That was my recap of North Carolina. Matt Brown's excited. He's ready to go, and he's ready to rock and roll with the Tar Heels this season. So, the Pitt Panthers, Pat Narduzzi, throwing a little bit of shade at Penn State, at least. Firing at Penn State, saying that they are the real Pennsylvania team, and just firing at all cylinders. Pat Narduzzi is. Pitt is a team that has kind of gone downhill a little bit since 2021. but Pat Narduzzi is excited about the development up front, the line of scrimmage, how physical they can be this season, and that is what I was thinking about, just thinking about, like, my big question about it was, how physical are they going to be up front? Pat Narduzzi is excited about it. He thinks that they're developing quite nicely and adding some more depth to their line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, on D-line and O-line. So I'm excited about what Pat Narduzzi is going to bring up front. Now they just need to figure out the depth on a lot of other places. But it's going to take time. They got to rebuild again, but we can all trust. And Pat Narduzzi, we trust, right? We trust in head coach Pat Narduzzi. That was Pitt's media day recap of me, from me. Now we're going to talk about SMU. The Mustangs pony up, the defending American Conference champions, move it over to the ACC. They are back and ready to go. They have a good team. I'm not going to lie, guys. They have a really, really good team. Preston Stone coming in at quarterback, and he is back at quarterback as a junior. He was a menace in controlling and commanding everything and holding that offense, breaking down plays of defenses on offense last season in the American Conference. Can he do that, and can he keep up that high octane offensive performance in the ACC? Preston Stone's excited about it, and so is head coach Rhett Lashley. Rhett Lashley back, entering his third year at SMU. He is back and ready to go. He's excited about Preston Stone being the quarterback for this team. He's excited to see what this team can do. He's going to spread out that offense and make sure the defenses try to beat them and try to see if they can beat them. Just putting everything on blast. SMU is here to light it up and light up the scoreboard, according to Rhett Lashley and Preston Stone. That was my recap of SMU. They're going to get ready to rock and roll. I feel confident for SMU. I think they're going to be a team that they're going to be getting close to being up there, but they may have some competition along the way beforehand. So SMU, that was my recap of SMU. Let's talk about Stanford. Troy Taylor back again. This time in the ACC, going from the Pac-12 to the ACC. We asked, my big question about his thoughts were on the traveling and the issues there. He says he was excited, but also shows some concerns about the health and welfare of players, and I understand that as well. I had that same very issue, but he's also excited and confident to see how he fares in this conference this season. And I would be excited as well. It's a confidence thing. You're going up against some of the very best teams that college football has to offer with Clemson and Florida State. I'm in Miami. I'm excited to see everything with Stanford and how they develop in the ACC and how they travel and see how that affects everything. So that was my recap on Stanford. Stanford's going to look probably a little bit about the same as they did last season, but don't count them out because in some big games last season, they were a problem. So Stanford, that was my recap on them and how they are, getting ready for the ACC coming up this season. Syracuse, let's talk about Syracuse as we kind of wind down here a little bit. Syracuse, the Orange. Fran Brown, new coach, safeties coach at Georgia, now the head coach at, the Syracuse Orange. He's excited about this team. You know why? Because he's got Kyle McCord at quarterback, right? He's excited about what he did in the portal. He cracked out his hand in the portal, offered a few players, threw up a Hail Mary, and landing Kyle McCord from Ohio State in the portal. Kyle McCord, a veteran in the game. He's excited about him leading the offense, and he's excited about unleashing a brand new era of Orange football in the ACC. Let's see what Kyle McCord does. He's got a lot of physical attributes on him. He's got a lot of veteran ability, and he can also he knows how to command and be in command of an offense well. So Kyle McCord, the new quarterback for Syracuse, that was the big question there. How does he feel about landing Kyle McCord in the portal? He's excited about it, and he's excited about where the offense is going to head with Kyle McCord in Syracuse, New York. So that was my recap of Syracuse. Fran Brown's excited. He is just rebuilding. So let's just see. Let's pump the brakes on, ACC title hopes and everything right there. But he's still rebuilding. You got to add a lot more to it and add a lot more depth to your team. But let's just see what happens with everything. So that was Syracuse's recap. Let's talk about Virginia for a little bit, and then Va Tech, and then Wake Forest. Then we'll conclude today's episode of Pigskin Frenzy. Virginia, Tony Elliott's back. He's excited to get back at it for Cavalier football. He is addressing all the haters out there, and he's telling them that just watch us and see how we play, and you'll be surprised on our results. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, hey, we're not going to be, underestimate Virginia, but at the same time, there's a lot of other talent out there behind Virginia and, in front of Virginia. And it's just kind of hard to sit and say at this time Virginia is going to be a true threat to the ACC. So my recap of everything is this. I think, and I still have them at one of the bottom parts of the conference, just like for my conference standing projections. And this media day didn't give me the best outcome of this season. That's just how I view it, and that's really pretty much my recap of Virginia's ACC media day, and that was my recap of the Cavaliers of Virginia. But keep at it. I like Tony Elliott a lot, and I hope that everything goes good at Virginia. Vatech, Justin Funette, he's excited about bringing that electricity back into Blacksburg, Virginia, and he's very excited about this season and ready to go, for the ACC. He thinks they're going to be a true underrated threat. We'll see. It's a big, bold statement. We will see how Vatech's going to be. I have them in the top 15 at least, but I think it's going to be a thing where when you look at Vatech, they're going to be a solid team, but are they going to be a team that competes with the elite of the elite? That's the big question that I had at media days. He was confident in it, but also I'm also not feeling it as well as also. So that's how I'm feeling. I think Vatech is going to be a team where they're going to be in the middle of the pack, but I wouldn't sit there and say they're going to win it all right at this season. They got some developing to do in terms of defensive depth as well. So that was my media day recap of Vatech and how I felt about how everything was handled and spoken about at media days with Vatech. Last but not least, Wake Forest, Dave Clawson. I love Dave Clawson. I really do. He is one of my favorite coaches out there. They got the heart. It's his 11th season at Wake Forest. He is excited about playing a lot of talent, including some out-of-conference opponents like Ole Miss. He's excited about bringing some Demon Deacon football back. He is trying to build up everything, build up on offense, and defense is fine. It's looking a lot better, but he's trying to build up on some offensive players and build up some depth of their. I'm excited to see where everything goes with Dave Clawson. I really am. I'm excited to see what Wake Forest has in store for us. I don't know if they're going to be amongst the elite, but I would sit there and probably say middle of the pack, getting lower than middle of the pack. I would expect that would be the outcome for Wake Forest going into this season. My recap is this. He's motivated. He's excited. I would watch out for Wake Forest, yes, defensively, but I think they have a little bit more work to do on the offensive side of things as they enter the ACC season and enter this season for the 2024 college football season. So that was my recap of Wake Forest. That was my recap of all 17 teams of the ACC as they gear up for the 2024 college football season. And we are out of time. A big thank you for taking some time out of your Tuesday to just sit back, watch, and listen to some college football coverage presented by me. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like each episode, leave comments down below. Spotify, Podbean, and Apple. All you have to do is just share around with others and follow on there as well. X, Instagram, and Facebook, just type in Pigskin Frenzy. Follow like the pages there. You're going to get episode updates. You're going to get news and highlights from across college and NFL football. You're going to get trivia questions on Instagram stories. Go and answer today's college football question as well as all things up to date for Pigskin Frenzy. Guys, check out the website, www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. There you'll find all things up to date for Pigskin Frenzy. Don't forget to check out the Beard Club. Thank you for being our proud partner at the Beard Club, and also thank you, for a couple of you guys who have entered the free giveaway. There's a lot more to go. We have the entries are available until August 18th at 6 p.m. You have until August 18th to enter the free college football giveaway. August 18th at 6 p.m. Go and enter now. Just check out Facebook and Instagram for that free college football giveaway post. We will be back Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, for another NFL edition of Pigskin Frenzy, talking about the latest of training camps. We'll have the latest round of updates from training camps, including the Cowboys for sure, including not just the Cowboys, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about the Cowboys. We're going to talk about the Jets training camp. We're also going to talk about the Steelers training camp. Those are 3 training camp updates we're going to provide you guys with. We're also going to talk about the bad news of training camp, and that's the injuries, the latest injury updates heading in to the preseason. And we're going to predict the Hall of Fame preseason game this Thursday. You're not going to want to miss Thursday's NFL edition of Pigskin Frenzy, and you're not going to want to miss Pigskin Frenzy in general, right? This is what we do. We have fun just talking about football itself. Guys, big thank you for tuning in today. We will be back. Like I said, we'll be back Thursday for another NFL edition of Pigskin Frenzy. I'm Joel Norris signing off. See you Thursday for the NFL edition of Pigskin Frenzy. As always, and please and always, stay the course.